Hi friends, my name is Emily and this is The Self-Help Chef. I believe that food is the ultimate connection to all things mental, physical, and spiritual. This series is all about how to navigate important self-help topics while making delicious plant-based food. Food is the source of community, important discussion, family, and so much more. I encourage everyone to cook along with me and my guests while we talk candidly and openly about everything health and wellness. My name's Emily, and today we are talking about my two favorite M words, mac and cheese and meditation. And I'm really excited to announce my guest that is going to be cooking with me today, Gustavo Padron. Gustavo Padron. Gustavo is a yoga and meditation instructor living in Austin, Texas. And Gustavo was first introduced to yoga and meditation in Mexico, which is super cool, while living at home. And it wasn't until he was rehabbing a hamstring, if that's correct, until he found the passion and admiration for the practice of yoga. Gustavo's warmth and welcoming presence makes mindfulness approachable and accessible. So Gustavo, thank you so much for coming to cook with me today.
Oh my God, it is such a pleasure to be here. Like you said, my two favorite M words, mac and cheese and meditation. And girl, we're about to talk all day long.
Mac and cheese is just like the best food group, like cheese, carbs, pasta, and we're adding some truffle sauce in there.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Are you ready?
For this. So ready.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna start with the first kind of technique, which is the only chef technique that we're gonna be doing. I think everybody should know what it is. It's called an onion pique. It's French, so it's fancy, and it's how we are gonna keep our sauce nice and white, like you see in all of the really famous mac and cheese recipes. So what we have is we each have a half of an onion, we have a bay leaf, and we have 3 cloves. So if you've seen a clove before,
I have, yes.
Are you a foodie?
Well, yes and no. It depends on what mood I'm in. Like, I'm a foodie if my partner cooks.
Yeah.
I'm not so much of a foodie if I have to cook, but I'm so excited to learn from you, though.
Now you're going to learn and you're going to be the foodie who does want to cook.
I feel like this is exactly right up my alley. Easy peasy, mac and cheesy.
Oh my God. I love you. This is going to be so fun. Oh my gosh. You're the cutest. Okay, so this is a clove. It is in its original form. I know that some people have dried cloves in their pantry, but this is our regular old, like very cute little pointy clove, and it's going to be used as a tack, which I think is super creative. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be tacking this bay leaf onto our onion, which is, when I first learned this, I was like, what the heck? Like, why are we doing it like this? But once you get it all in there, it's just a really nice way to have compact flavor into an onion. And you flip it over, put it in the sauce, and it just gives you all of the flavor of the sauce that we're making, which is a Mornay sauce, if you've heard of like the mother sauces.
Ooh, no, I have not heard until now. Yeah,
so you have your bechamel sauce, which is a mother sauce. It's just the type of sauce that you use to make pastas, and then you have your Mornay sauce, which is just the bechamel with cheese. So it's my favorite sauce.
Yum.
So this is the very basic, original, very classic technique that you do. So this is how you do your onion pique. Yours looks beautiful as well.
Loves it. Ta-da. You know, you mentioned something that this is like a tack, and in Spanish this is called clavo.
Clavo?
Clavo, which means nail in English.
Weird.
So it's literally like a nail. You're nailing the leaf down.
And clavo sounds like clove?
Yeah. It's
weird. That's
literally,
awesome.
Literally. Clavo, it's clove.
Clavo.
Yeah.
Well, we have the clavo and the onion.
Little Spanish lesson
yeah,
for you while we're cooking.
Please. I took 3 years of Spanish and it never stuck. So hopefully clavo will stuck with me today.
Clavo, you got it.
Okay, so we have our amazing onion pique, and now I'm gonna come invite you to make the Mornay sauce with me. So we have our basic ingredients. It's only like what? 4 ingredients.
Yes.
So super easy.
And probably I have all of this at home already.
Yeah, so what we have is our flour, our truffle oil, our panko breadcrumbs, our oat milk. This is actually plant-based Parmesan cheese.
Stop.
Right, smell it? It smells
like
it,
a
right?
real thing.
It does. So, like Whole Foods, guys. Whole Foods.
Okay.
So our plant-based Parmesan and our plant-based butter. So everything's plant-based. And we are just gonna start making our sauce. So while I start this up, I'm gonna pour some milk, and then I'm gonna pour in our onion pique. And while we start that, I would love to hear about meditation. Like, that is our topic. So what got you into meditation, first of all, and what makes you so passionate about it?
So I found meditation through yoga, actually.
Yeah.
I started taking yoga classes to rehab a hamstring injury. I was just running a lot around the beautiful town lake that we have in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And I injured a hamstring, and my PT recommended that I try yoga. So took my first class and loved it.
Yeah.
Fell in love, and I kept coming back. And I love the athleticism of the practice. And it wasn't until a few years later that I actually discovered meditation. And at first I was really resistant to it because I kept saying in my head, I don't have a quiet mind to meditate.
Yeah.
But then it's like saying, like, I'm not fit enough to go to the gym, you know? So practice, baby. Practice makes practice, right? That's all it is. So one day I just sat for 1 minute, and then my mind wandered and thought of all the things that I had to do for that day, and I gave up. I was like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is not for me.
Yeah.
So it took multiple tries, and it took a very different approach to meditation so that it would stick to my lifestyle.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, you know, we think that meditation has to be this one thing that you practice with your eyes closed and making like weird sounds. And while yes,
floating off
true,
of the ground,
you know, right? Listening to like
enlightenment.
whale sounds and humming. Like, I love that. That is traditionally, you know, how meditation was taught. You were to retreat yourself in a cave and close your eyes and be there for hours. I mean, I don't have that time.
No.
So
Nobody
I started to just get creative with finding different ways to incorporate mindfulness in my day. Something so simple like brushing my teeth, like fully being immersed in the experience of brushing every single one of my teeth. A lot of the times, you know, we just go, and then we're thinking about, okay, I gotta make coffee, I gotta like email this person, and we just forget about the whole experience, you know, and it's something that we do every day. So doing that while brushing my teeth, also just like taking that first sip of coffee in the morning or tea or whatever you're into, right? It's just like fully being in the experience of like, okay, what does it smell like? What does it taste like? And this is why I'm so interested to like cook with you, because this can also be a mindfulness experience, a really mindful experience, right? Like you're literally observing how the chemistry of the foods that you are putting into this pan are changing. You're literally smelling the aroma of the food. You're seeing the colors, right? And I think that it's all about that immersive experience where you can cultivate more presence. And that is all that meditation is all about, right? Finding presence. Meditation, the goal of meditation is not to quiet your mind. Like, good luck with that, right?
That's not gonna happen
not
for
gonna
you.
Not gonna happen. The goal of meditation is just to become more present. To be more aware.
I love that.
Of everything that happens in our lives. So I really love practicing mindfulness techniques. Something so simple, like I said, like brushing my teeth. Sometimes even just like in the shower, like physically removing any energy that doesn't serve me is a great way to like cultivate mindfulness.
I love that.
Sipping on coffee, right? Of course, I also love sitting in stillness. Sitting in stillness for, even if it's just like 3 minutes and connecting to my breath, is something that gives me a sense of presence that sometimes I forget about, you know? And I don't know why I keep bringing brushing my teeth. But here's the thing, y'all. Meditation has been a non-negotiable for me. I have to practice some sort of meditation, some sort of mindfulness before I send an email, before I talk to anyone. Meditation for me is like brushing my teeth. If I don't brush my teeth, I can't talk to you because then my
Yeah.
breath is gonna stink, right?
Exactly.
So it's a way to remind me.
It's a non-deal breaker.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's a non-negotiable. It's the non-deal breaker, and I just feel much more in tune with myself.
Yeah.
I also feel that I'm able to respond to anything that happens around me in a more kind, a more loving, a more just loving way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that if you start with mindfulness, then it can be less scary to make your pathway into meditation, right? The actual sitting in stillness, sitting with your mind, you know, focusing on your thoughts.
Correct.
Just being mindful. I remember I was really struggling in college, and I was also very, very busy, and I heard on a podcast about walking meditation, and I was like, how is that a thing? Because I thought you just have to sit and be quiet and go you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would walk to my classes every day and just like count my steps, and I would just count my steps all the way down. I had classes at my stadium, like at the stadium, which is weird, but I would just count my steps, and then once I got there, I was like, okay, I was very mindful during this. I'm ready for class. I'm ready to, you know, have the rest of my day, and it wasn't even meditation when I really thought about it, but thinking back, it kind of was, you know?
Correct. Yeah, so this is what I like to think about meditation, or how I like to think about meditation. So mindfulness is a big umbrella, right? Meditation is part of that big umbrella,
Yeah.
right? And there's different techniques that you can incorporate to practice mindfulness.
Yes.
One way is meditation, and within that way, there's like 1,000 different ways that you can meditate, and in turn practice mindfulness.
Yeah.
Walking, like you said, and
Love walking
counting.
meditation.
I love counting. Anything that can help your mind focus on something is going to be key, because here's the thing, like we all live really fast-paced lives.
Yes.
And we're always thinking, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? Sometimes we go back and think, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. Sometimes we
Yeah.
live in the past, right? So we're hardly living in the moment. We're hardly here. We're always back here or really fast forward here.
Preach.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's something that I struggle too. It's
Yeah.
something that I struggle with too. And also, this is why meditation is a non-negotiable for me, because it reminds me to be here,
Yeah.
to practice being more present, more aware, so that when obstacles, challenges come my way, I'm
Yeah.
able to pause, take a beat before I respond right away.
Exactly.
Right? So meditation is a really good way to pause between the stimulus and your response. If there's something that is challenging or pressing in your life, we tend to right away respond, right?
Yep.
Take a beat and then respond, right? So this is why I'm so passionate about meditation.
Yeah.
It's anyone can meditate.
Yeah.
Anyone can meditate, and I hope that anyone who watches this can be inspired to practice mindfulness when they're cooking their favorite dish.
Exactly.
Because that is what it's all about. Finding things that bring you, yes, joy, but you can also be more mindful and present with.
Yes.
You don't want meditation to become something else on your to-do list, like a chore. You want it to be enjoyable. You want to find things that work with you, and those things are going to shift depending on what stage of your life you're in. Like you said, you used to walk and count your steps.
Yeah.
That worked for you when you were walking to class.
Exactly.
Now, maybe you live a different lifestyle. Maybe you need something different. Maybe now you're ready to sit. Or maybe now you're ready to practice mindfulness when you're cooking.
Yeah.
Fully being immersed in the whole experience.
I think when I think back to how I am mindful in my cooking is, have you ever heard of, I'm sure you've heard of a flow. Like you do it in yoga, but when your mind goes in a flow and you just feel so, you know, you kind of forget what you're doing, you just feel so at ease and you feel, I don't want to say enlightened, but kind of just very peaceful inside. That's how I feel about cooking. So I'm really excited to like kind of combine both of our passions and be mindful in this, you know, in this cooking segment and in, you know, making this amazing mac and cheese, and we're going to be mindful when we eat it. So it's going to be awesome. I think our sauce is done.
I think it's done.
So this is just the base of the sauce. This is our milk, or our plant-based milk. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this aside. We're gonna make our roux, which is just a fancy technique to make our sauce thicker. Thick with 2 C's. So we're going to transfer this over, and I'm gonna get this pan, and then we are going to combine our milk and our roux. So I'm gonna have you help me with this for a little bit.
Give me something to do.
My little sous chef. Okay, so we're gonna put our butter in, and while you're gonna be the placer in the pan and I will be the whisker.
I love that.
Sound
I
good?
feel like that sounds lovely.
Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna place our butter in, we're gonna let it melt. This is about 1 ounce of plant-based butter, unsalted, because we are gonna make it salty later.
Yes.
So we are just gonna make sure that this melts fully. And what I like about plant-based butter is that it melts a little quicker than regular butter. So this is just different plant oils combined together with some like salt, and you can find really natural ones. The one I use is Earth Balance, which I really enjoy, and you can find it in Whole Foods. Okay, so our butter is nice and melted, and we are going to add in our flour.
Okay.
So this is what our roux is. It's flour and butter, equal
So
parts.
is there a technique on adding this, like little
Nope.
by little, or
You can just
all
dump
at
it
once?
in.
Okay.
And I'm gonna whisk it together. And so this
I
is...
am learning so much.
And so
Thank you.
this is how we are going to make our roux. We're just going to mix it until it becomes like a thick paste. And this is what thickens up all of our sauces. So if you ever wanna make like a soup or a sauce that you want a little bit thicker, you know, of course, mac and cheese sauce comes to mind, but also
like gravy as well.
Yeah, like a gravy.
Okay.
Yep. Any sort of soup that is a little thicker. This is how you start it off, and I just love this technique. I think it's really, really simple to do. So we have our roux. It's all ready and combined. We're gonna add in our milk. So you can go ahead and grab the milk. We can take the onion out, but be careful because it's hot. If you need some tongs, I can pluck it out for you.
Got it? Yeah. You got chef hands.
I got lots of burns, so a little milk won't do anything. Okay, so this technique is you're gonna add it in slowly.
Little by little, okay.
Yeah, and we are going to combine it. We are gonna combine it together, so teamwork is really great for this. Yes. And I have my heat on a low.
That smells so nice.
Oh, right?
I can smell
it's
the
already
cloves
kind
for
of
sure.
like cheesy, even though we haven't put any cheese in it. So this we want it on a low temperature so it doesn't boil, it doesn't reduce. It just beautifully combines together.
I love the bay leaf
You
and
can
the
smell
cloves.
it,
Smells so good.
right? And there's no color to the sauce, which I think is pretty amazing. So it will get stuck to your whisk every, couple
I feel
stirs.
like you're
and
so in your flow state right now.
I'm so in my flow state right
feel
now.
like
I'm
you
just
are.
enjoying this moment with you.
I love that, and that's what it's all about. Just enjoying what you're doing.
Exactly.
And that is the best way to like ground you in the present moment.
Oh,
so
man.
yes.
And especially cooking with somebody else. I think I enjoy it so much more, especially somebody who also loves food.
Ooh,
so
yes.
it just, makes you enjoy the moment with friends and community. So there's just so many amazing, beautiful
And
things
food
about
is just
cooking.
such a great way to bring people together.
Yes.
And if you can, of course, invite a little bit of mindfulness to it, you can teach your kids or your partner or whoever is around you.
Yeah.
Hey, like this can also become a really awesome opportunity for you to practice being more present, more mindful, more aware.
Yeah, and I mean, you teach thousands and thousands of people how to be mindful every day, so it's like a second nature to talk about, mindfulness and meditation for you, I feel like.
It is, but I also have to remind myself to stay in the practice.
Yeah.
It's, of course, like I said, it's a practice and it's a muscle that we have to flex every single day. It's a muscle that we have to work on every single day. And eventually it'll become second nature. It'll become a habit, right? And something that I have been fascinated with is breath work, because breath work is also a really good way to be more mindful or to practice mindfulness actually.
Yeah, I've watched so many like documentaries and podcasts about it. I haven't dove into it quite yet because I think I'm still at that stage where sitting in stillness freaks me out.
Yeah.
So I still practice like guided meditation and things where people are telling me what to do, but I think the next step is amazing breath work.
Breath work is a type of meditation as well, right?
It's under that umbrella.
It's under that umbrella.
Yeah.
And breath work is or breathing actually is the only bodily function that, or one of the bodily functions that we have control both consciously and unconsciously.
That's amazing.
I know, so we can use it to our advantage to help us bring more presence into our lives.
I've heard just like even practicing breath work just calms your nervous system
Yes.
down,
Yes.
which is so cool. I mean, there's so much science behind all this stuff.
So much science, correct. It can help to untrap emotions, trauma, and I mean, most of us don't really breathe.
And usually, I know, right?
Yeah, we're like, are you breathing?
I know, like when I'm in the restaurants, and so sometimes I'll be like working and I'll be like, oh my God, I haven't been breathing, or I've been clenching my teeth, you know? So I think that's such a cool, new thing that I've seen everywhere that, maybe you can teach us later on.
Of course,
about
yes, a little breath work.
little
And
breath
something
work.
so simple that you can do literally anywhere, anytime.
Awesome.
That can help reground you, reset you,
Yeah.
so that you can just be more present in your life.
Yeah, that's amazing. And look at this.
Oh my God, look at this.
Hey, nice and cheesy, even though we haven't even put cheese in it yet.
Wow.
So that's like exactly what you want to see. So now we are going to grate our Parmesan in our Parmesan. So I'm gonna give you that task.
Okay,
so I would start at the base, the thicker part, the wider part, and I'm just grate as much as you want in there. I'll give you some room.
Thank
you. There you go. So this is what makes our sauce a Mornay sauce. So adding that cheese, adding that cheesy flavor into it, and we're just gonna have it melt. We're gonna whisk it in there, and then we have our mac and cheese sauce.
Yum. Oops.
No worries.
Not mindful at all. Okay, this broke a little bit.
Oh, no worries. So I will whisk while you stir. I'm gonna give you the reins on how much cheese you want in this, because
I mean, the limit does not exist.
it's true. I totally agree. We might just put this whole block in there.
The limit does not exist, honestly. When it comes to cheese, the limit does not exist.
Give me all the cheese.
All of it.
Oh my gosh. And Whole Foods has all of these options for plant-based cheese, which I think is so cool.
Should we just like do this one?
Yeah. Just a little bit more, I would say, even.
Yeah.
You're almost there. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. And you can see it's a little like chunky now, which is fine. I think it's because Parmesan doesn't melt as well as other cheeses. But if we whisk it enough, it'll become smooth again. So this is our Mornay sauce, and we're gonna add one more ingredient, which is our truffle oil.
Ooh.
So I'm just gonna have you smell it,
Now, where do you get this?
So this came in a jar with other like pickles and stuff from Whole Foods, but there is infused truffle oil, which you can find also at like a local grocery store. So yeah, just put it all the way in there. Truffle oil can be very pungent and potent too, so that's why we don't use a lot of it. But I mean, I'm one of those people who can have as much truffle,
Same.
so much truffle and like not get tired of it.
Again, the limit does not exist.
The limit does not
or
exist. Cheese or truffle. So we have our truffle in here. We're just gonna whisk it up until it's nice and smooth again. Add in some nutmeg, some white pepper, some salt. We're gonna taste it, of course, because we're chefs.
Yes.
And then we are going to mix it in with our pasta and then give it a nice bake. And then we are ready to eat our mac and cheese.
Cannot wait.
Oh, it's gonna be so
cannot
good.
wait.
You're gonna have to take some home with you.
Of course. Are you kidding me?
So
and that is dinner.
Yeah, and that is dinner. So I know that there are different types of meditation, like the sit down meditation. I know like guided. What are the other types? I know that we talked about mindfulness, but what are your like favorite types of meditation that you like to do?
I love, like I mentioned earlier, breathwork meditation. Something that can help my mind focus on something. Another one along that realm is mantra meditation. So reciting, whether it be a word or a phrase that can help the mind focus on something. Another one of my favorite ones is visualization meditations.
Definitely.
There's a ton of different meditations out there and amazing resources and instructors out there. I recommend that you start off with something that feels accessible, something that feels welcoming, something that feels enjoyable.
And personable.
Again, personable.
Yeah.
And you don't want to make it seem, again, like a chore. You want to make sure that it feels like something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the benefits of meditation are endless, you know, from helping with depression to helping to lower your blood pressure. There's like so much science behind this ancient practice that a lot of us are finding that we need more these days, especially because we're on the go, always here, there, thinking so far ahead. So choosing a technique that works with you and sticking with that for a few months and then exploring something else, I think it's the best way to get your toes wet.
Yes.
And just like see what works for you.
Totally. And I feel like COVID, I mean, pandemic, I think it's a perfect time for people to just
perfect time.
Maybe pivot and be like, okay, I mean, I have to be, not so much now, but we have to be a little bit more isolated these days. So while we're isolated.
And you know, like some people believe that you need to set aside 30 minutes out of your day to meditate.
Yeah.
I mean, something so simple like 30 seconds goes a long way.
It's so true.
You're just giving your mind an opportunity to find stillness. We possess so much wisdom. We have so much information within us that if we can just listen, everything in our lives can be a little easier. Sometimes we just live up here versus like here.
Yeah, that
right?
speaks so much to me.
So
right now.
meditation
Like,
can help us.
Yes.
No, I hear you. I am the same way. And like this is when I get really heady and like really out there, my meditation grounds me. It brings me back and I'm able to listen. Okay, like what does my body need right now? Mac and cheese, obviously.
Obviously.
Right? But it's like, what does it really need? Like what does my body really need? Do I really need to be on my phone for another 30 minutes or can I shift gears and take a bath instead?
Exactly.
Right? So for me, meditation gives me access to tuning in with my body's needs. And when my needs are met, I'm a better human. I'm kinder. I give from a place that overflows versus a place that feels depleted. So for me, like I mentioned earlier, meditation is a non-negotiable because it helps me take care of me before I can give energy to other people.
Gustavo's preaching, you guys. Like, you better listen. It's like amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to go get our pasta.
Yes.
And we are going to add that in. I'm going to get give it a nice little toss. I don't know if we'll add all of that in. I put some olive oil in it so it doesn't stick.
Is that a trick?
It is my little chef trick.
I love that.
Put a little bit of olive oil in your pasta so
after it's done or while it's cooking?
After it's done.
Okay.
You can put it in while it's cooking, but I just put it in fresh after I strain it and put it into a bowl just so it stays fresh and it doesn't dry out. So that's my little pro tip.
It looks super yummy.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so
just like maybe a quarter.
Yeah, do as much as I'll tell you when to stop. How about that? Yes. I would say leave like a quarter maybe of pasta.
You
that
tell
looks
me when to stop.
so good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
enough?
good. That's perfect.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna give it a little mix.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you love how I'm just getting pasta everywhere?
I love it.
I'm
Hey.
not known as the clean chef.
Hey,
so.
it doesn't, as long as it tastes good,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
That is all that matters. Okay, so I think this is all mixed in. We're just gonna do a little more folding.
Fold the cheese,
And then
Emily.
we are going to taste it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have like a little crunchy top on
The
our
panko?
Yeah, the panko.
Yay.
Let's give it a little taste.
Let's taste it. Let's see what
Let's see if it needs anything.
goodness this is.
Creamy.
Delish.
Creamy, creamy. I love that. Okay. Ooh, this is my favorite part.
Okay, show me.
Yes. And before we do that, we're going to just oil our panko a little bit.
Okay.
So this is just so it gets really crunchy. You know, like when you oil toast and you put it in the oven to get crunchy? This is exactly what we're doing. It's just crumbled up bread.
Yeah.
So just a little bit. So I'm just gonna do a little technique, just crumbling it with my hands, just making sure it's getting all coated. And that way it's gonna be super crunchy on top, and each bite is gonna be amazing. Okay, so just a little bit in here. We're gonna fill it up to the very top because we don't wanna skimp on our mac and cheese. And if some falls out.
It is 2021. No time to be stingy, right?
No time to be stingy. And if some falls out, we'll just put it back in or we'll eat it. So, yeah, this is gonna be amazing.
I'm so excited. No, so how long would you bake it for?
So we are gonna put this in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And since it's so hot, it's not gonna bake for very long.
Okay.
I would say 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh wow, yeah.
But what I really like to do is I like to be mindful about it.
Yes.
Going back to mindfulness, and I like to look at it, I like to smell it, and usually you can smell when it's done because you can smell that toasty flavor.
Ooh, yeah.
So I basically start with 10 minutes and then I just check and I kind of use my senses to decide whether it's ready or not.
Yeah.
So we're being mindful, which is really fun. Just all the way on the top. And then what's really fun about this is you could make a bunch of these for like a party and have different toppings like jalapenos, sriracha.
Okay, nice.
You know, just totally make it your own.
I love that.
So it has a nice little pillow of panko. All right, so we're gonna place this in the oven, go for 10 minutes, and then check it every 2 minutes until it's ready.
Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, so we have our mac and cheese in front of us. It's
Yum.
nice and crispy. We topped it with some parsley, and you are gonna take us through a mindful sort of eating meditation and like visuals. What are you gonna take us through?
Okay, so I'm gonna take you through a sensory meditation.
Awesome.
Where we get to see what's in front of us, we get to smell what's in front of us, we get to hear what's in front of us, we get to taste what's in front of us, we get to feel what's in front of us.
Amazing.
But before we get started, I'd like for us to close our eyes to take a moment to settle. So close your eyes and let your palms settle on your thighs. Then lift your shoulders up to your ears, big shoulder shrug. Glide your shoulders down and away from your ears. Then just take a moment, take a second to notice how you feel after cooking this delicious mac and cheese right in front of you. Find a sense of gratitude for this opportunity that you get to share amazing, delicious vegan recipes, not only with your friends, but also with the world. Then from this place of gratitude, very gently open your eyes and look down. What is the first thing that you see?
I see, I think, a dish that I'm very proud to have made with you and very grateful that it's in front of us and that we're able to enjoy this moment together. I think that's what I see.
What do you hear? You can even get near it.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, we can do like a
yeah.
nice crispiness on top, which is my favorite. And when we put our spoon in, I bet it's gonna be
Maybe a little like sizzling,
a
right?
little sizzling,
Yeah.
a little
Okay.
crunchiness.
And then what do you smell?
The truffle,
Truffle.
the truffle, and the toasty panko on top.
I smell a little butter and like the clove too.
That clove really hits. Yeah, amazing smells.
Yeah. And then we can taste it.
Again, you can hear like
Ooh,
the
yeah.
gooiness of
Yeah.
it. And now I like diving deeper into it. There's like so many more visuals that make me really
Oh
excited
my God.
to dig
All the
in.
different like textures you can see. So now you can also hear the crunchiness of the panko.
And the creaminess of tasting it on your tongue. Super creamy, super crunchy, warm.
In the final sense, what do you feel? When you eat this, what do you feel?
Comfort.
Comfort.
What do
I
you
get
feel?
that too. Yeah, comfort. And I don't know, just like joy.
Pure joy.
Joy. This is like a little bowl of joy for me.
This is a purely blissful moment. So
Aw.
I just really want to thank you so much for
Thank
teaching
you.
us so much and cooking with me. This is a moment I'll always remember,
Aw.
and you know, I can't wait to take classes from you. And I know you're doing virtual classes, right?
Yes, I teach for Yoga Glow, so you can always find me there. But this has been such a lovely experience to share just a little bit of mindfulness, of meditation. And this is something, like I said, that you can practice every single day. You don't have to sit and close your eyes every single time. Something so simple like paying attention to what's right in front of you, connecting to your five senses can be enough.
Yeah.
And can help you find a little peace of mind.
Yes.
So that hopefully you're more present as you move through your life.
Yeah, and hopefully people will be inspired by your message and your
Aw.
passion, and get out there and be mindful and meditate.
I would love nothing more.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much
Thank
for tuning
you.
in to Mac and Cheese and Meditation. I love you, you're worthy, you're important, and stay tuned for next week.